Tribe, I missed you. It's really good to see you. And the title of the video today is about Cannes and whether or not the Cannes Film Festival is going to be canceled and what's happening with Dangerous to Know then because of distribution. And I've been getting a lot of questions about that online. Understandably, people want an update, although I think people are also just really busy with everything that they've had to deal with to get ready and get prepared as well. So that's the main focus, but probably the headline, the thing that'll get the most attention is that I almost certainly am hopefully getting over COVID-19 right now. Jenny is kind of superhuman, and she's holding the camera right now, and she kicked its butt in about 72 hours with her Olympian type blood, but she's younger than me and bounced back faster. She had the symptoms first, and I developed the symptoms 2 days later. We live in Canada. We've been trying to get a test. I live in British Columbia, and unfortunately, contrary to popular belief, it's really tough to get a test here. In fact, I think it's tougher to get a test here than it is in the US. You can only get a test as of right now. It's March 17th, 2020. You can only get a COVID-19 test in Canada if you actually work in healthcare. So you've got to be a doctor, you've got to be a nurse, or some sort of caregiver. Other than that, you won't get one. Initially, when we tried to get one, it was on my second day of having symptoms. And at that time, you had to know the person who actually had already tested positive that you came in contact with, and it had to be within a few days. Now there's an outbreak at a particular, I probably shouldn't name anything, but a particular assisted living, I'll say establishment. They call themselves a house, but it's like a big complex that is right down the street from us, and it happens to be about a half a kilometer, on either side, half kilometer away from the two main grocery stores that Jenny and I use. And so even though we were taking a lot of precautions, we came into contact with it. I feel pretty confident that we have it. The symptoms line up exactly with what you're seeing online, but Jenny is essentially symptom-free. I'm in day 5, and I am hopefully getting better. Most of my symptoms have gotten better, but you probably notice just from people who've seen me speak a lot that struggling a little bit more to get a breath in. Lungs still feel really heavy. It's a very dry kind of cough. I took my temperature right before I came out. I had a 99.9, so it's just slightly feverish, and that's the sort of thing that most people are going to experience. But it's highly, highly contagious. So Jenny and I obviously have taken ourselves out. We're quarantining ourselves and doing what we're supposed to do here in Canada. And unfortunately, none of that has anything to do with getting a test. And we should have tests because we need to know who has it. Once it becomes possible to go out again, once all these quarantines end, we'd like to 100% know that we had it, or at least have it be official that we had tested positive. But I don't know, unless tests come out quick, I'm not sure that we're going to be able to get tested before we're symptom-free and we no longer would test positive. So there'll always be that little bit of unknown with us. But I feel really confident. And when I say confident, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, there's some positives. And I wish we'd known. I wish we'd known that the lack of testing was so bad in Canada. And I think it's a bit of a failing on the media right now that hasn't been a bigger story, but I think as the cases today in British Columbia spiked like crazy, they nearly doubled today. And considering how hard it is to get a test, the fact that the positives were so high, the 88 new ones today, when they're only testing people who knew someone that they'd come in contact with who already tested positive, and that they've restricted it even more now just to healthcare workers. That's not good. So I hope wherever you are, you're safe, you're away from other people, and that you're okay. So speaking of, I know it might seem like, wow, we just can't catch a break. Cancer last year in the summer still hasn't even been a year, and then to finish the movie, and then it beat the odds the way that we all did with the Kickstarter in Cannes, and then to run into the 1 year where there won't be, or perhaps there won't be a Cannes film festival, and that all these other major film festivals are getting canceled. I mean, you could really say, well, it was me, but Jenny and I are way past that. We knew a few weeks ago, and that's why we were being so careful that this was coming, and you know, we were trying to look after people that we knew in our lives that we considered to be pretty vulnerable. We didn't think we'd be the ones. Again, if there'd been better information here in BC, I think we wouldn't have even been out that last week. But we were doing final preps. But we are already over this idea of this is the year we're going to go to all these festivals. This is probably going to be going on for months. I feel as though TIFF might still be held and might actually have screenings. That's possible by then, and that's in September. And we're still going to be submitting to Cannes. Cannes hasn't stopped their submissions yet. So our plan is to submit, and the festival is supposed to take place in late May. I think the second last week or last week in May. They haven't canceled yet, and I understand why they haven't. And it's possible that they still have time to become digital or to partially hold the festival. They might still have awards. We don't know. All we know is that the first big deadline, which is for the fortnight competition for the first-time director, I qualify for that, obviously. So we're going to submit for that, and then we'll decide if we're going to submit for the other ones. But it looks like they are not going to make a decision on it until after all the deadlines are over. So we'll see what happens. I think the idea of still being selected is worth something. Even if the festival itself ends up being canceled, having been selected would be still something for us. So to me, it's worth submitting, so we're going to give that a shot. But obviously our strategy's changing, and it was already such a non-traditional way that we filmed everything. I think we're in a good position to pivot and to see what we can do with streaming and finding distribution that way. And we have some things that we were holding off on because we wanted to try this film festival circuit first. We're still going to go for TIFF, and I feel good about that one. So that's the Toronto International Film Festival in September. Obviously, it's a really major one. We might even try for Sundance still, which won't be held until next February. I believe that one will definitely take place. But we'll see what happens. It's possible that we may end up on a streaming service before then, and that just is a matter of whether or not we get it in front of the right person. So that's our position right now with the movie. Okay, and the books. What's up with the books? So I haven't actually been able to write anything since the first day that Jenny showed symptoms. So it's been about a week, 7 or 8 days since since I did any of the editing on Superhuman or did any writing on the Dangerous to Know novelization. But as soon as I get over this, as soon as I get over the issue with the breathing, it's going to be an exciting opportunity. We're quarantined and isolated, and it'll be a little bit like The Shining, I suppose, except it'll be beautiful outside, and I'll get a chance to do a lot of writing that I was actually worried I wasn't going to be able to do, or that I'd have to push back because I'd be traveling around and going to these different festivals and going to different screenings and lining up the next movie. We can't film because we can't work with each other right now. So this sort of thing Jenny and I can do, which is great for YouTube, great for staying in contact with you. But I also have a backlog of novels that I want to get done. The 7th book in the Posthuman series, book 6 is so close to coming out, and now we'll have the 7th book. That will come out sooner because of this. So if you're looking for a silver lining, there's one, and there's more. I'll be able to finish the Dangerous to Know trilogy, the novels, and there are other novels that I had planned as well. I don't know if I've ever mentioned to you that The God Killers there's plans for a trilogy. It's just so far down the list that I didn't know how many years it would be before I could write them. I'll have a few months, and it'll be a challenge for me to see how much I can get done. But I'll also want to be doing these videos and helping the young filmmakers that subscribe to the channel and wanted to see how we make Dangerous to Know. And the day that this video comes out, it's March 17th right now, but the day that we'll put this up will be March 18th, I think, will be when it goes live. And on this day, book 1 in the Posthuman series, Subhuman, for the first time, is free everywhere. So it's on, I guess it's called Apple Books now. I've never really been on there. I've always been Amazon exclusive. But it'll be Kindle as usual, but it'll also be on Nook and Kobo, any of those stores. So if you have a different platform that you like to read from. A lot of people ask me about needing a special device. It's just an app. That's all you need. You just need an app, and on your whatever phone, on your Android phone, on your Android tablet, or on your iPad, or on your iPhone. And if you've got one of those, you can download the book for free on March 18th, and it's
And beyond that.
and beyond that, yeah, and it's being promoted tomorrow or today, I guess, when you see this, March 18th, on BookBub, right? That's what I used to know that so well. The biggest book promotion site in the world. It's been a long time since they chose one of our books, and it's exciting because we should be able to have a whole bunch of people coming into the tribe on that day. So that's something to look forward to. Okay, so that's it. There are silver linings. I hope that wherever you are, that you're safe, and that in the next few months that you don't get sick at all, and that this doesn't touch your family. That might be asking too much. But if people do get sick in your family, I hope that they recover really well and very quickly. And definitely it's important not to panic. You're hearing something right now in my lungs, and it's not fun. You feel a little bit asthmatic almost, but I've got a good immune system. I don't have allergies. I'll beat this, and for most people, that's what it'll be like. I've had worse flus. I'll be all right, and hopefully we'll get testing soon, and everybody can be tested, and we can all come through this in a few months. But during the downtime, I'm going to be creating as much content as I can. Just have to beat this first. So I'm going to go inside and have some hot soup. Maybe put this video together and have a really good long sleep again. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one, tribe.
Bye, everyone.
fly, says Jenny.
I can.
Nicely done.